Welcome to Wintrust Arena and to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago's 2018 Commencement Ceremony. At this time, we ask that all phones and devices be silenced or turned off and that you refrain from flash photography. Out of respect for all participants in our ceremony, please remain seated throughout its entirety. We have a big finish planned for after the names of all the graduates are read, and you won't want to miss it. Thank you, and let the ceremony begin.
Welcome, everyone, to the School of the Art Institute's 2018 Commencement Exercises. As SAIC's Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, it's my honor to stand here today in a ceremonial role as the Master of Ceremonies. I get a front row seat to today's commencement exercises, and I can assure you that we've got a lot of good times in store. Today, in celebration of your accomplishments, we'll have speeches and awards, honorary degrees, and a few surprises, and we'll need you to stay to the very end of the ceremony to see those. But the centerpiece for today's commencement are you, the graduates, walking across the stage while family, friends, your classmates, and faculty, myself and my colleagues, are fortunate to have a front row seat to celebrate your achievements. When 152 years ago, a small group of artists began what would become SAIC with a few classes, I'm not sure that they could have envisioned the depth of scholarship, the array of disciplines, and all of the boldness of execution that you, our soon-to-be graduates, have shown in your study and practice while you've been with us. I know, however, that these founders would have been as impressed as I am. I'm delighted by your objects and your actions, bowled over by your research and your thought, and most importantly, moved by your conscientiousness and your awareness of the society which you are going to be charged with building. It is this last quality that lets me know that your time at SAIC has prepared you to be citizens of the world. Upon graduation, the door closes on the course of study that you've just completed, but with today's exercises, another door opens to the world beyond, a world in which your talents and intellect are desperately needed, and we eagerly await your contributions as SAIC alum. So, let's not waste any time, and in the words of immortal late-night MCs everywhere, let's get this party started. To begin, I'm delighted to introduce the president of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, Alyssa Tenney.
Thank you, Craig, and welcome everyone. This is such an amazing sight from up here. Welcome to my colleagues from the staff and faculty. Welcome members of the Board of Governors and our distinguished guests. Welcome to Chancellor Massey and Shirley Massey, and the many family and friends who have joined us today. But most especially, welcome to the class of 2018. You look amazing. So if we look around, there are just under 1,000 of you graduating today. An additional 60 or so people are here on stage. And then there's another 75 who are helping to make everything run smoothly. And then all around you are your guests and faculty. So we can count another 100 people or so. So that's well over 6,000 people all here for you, the class of 2018. Pretty amazing. We are here for you because we know today is consequential. Days like this day, ceremonial days, mark what has passed and what is to come. Because even if your transformation is visually undetectable, you are different than when you first came to college. We come to college precisely to make ourselves different. Firstly, we come to acquire new skills and knowledge, and you have done that. You have learned to paint and sculpt, to photograph and to film, to design and deconstruct, to research and rework, and you have done all of that and much more. You have learned these tools and techniques with an interdisciplinary framework. At the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, we learn about art and design within the context of the cultures we live, the politics we negotiate, and the society we build together. We teach an interdisciplinary curriculum because the world is interdisciplinary. This means that when we learn about art and design, we learn about the world. So coming to college, in effect, transforms how we participate in the world. We come to college to have our ingrained beliefs challenged. We come to unlearn our prejudices and awaken new insights. We study to increase our sense of justice, our capacity for empathy, and the depth of our compassion. You came to college to become a citizen of the world, and along the way, you became a citizen artist. At SAIC, we believe that being a citizen artist is not about which country's passport you possess, or being concerned only with those who share your nationality. Being a citizen artist is about your awareness of our interconnectedness as people. It means you realize your work, your pictures and performances, your ceramic vessels and your robotic automatons, your typography and your scale models, your teaching philosophy and therapeutic method, the very stuff you make, is not made in a vacuum. In school, you learned how your work has a resonance in the world. It has presence, often physically, and it has the power to shape our imagination and catalyze our will for transformation. To be aware of this power, this responsibility, actually, it's what it means to be a citizen artist. I hope you wield your talents to do good. Now, that's a contested notion. What is good, after all? No one knows, not all of it anyway, but I can tell you that it's not about being perfect or about everyone agreeing on everything all of the time. It's about the attempt to do better. It's about being engaged in the discourse of a civil society. If that sounds like an impossibility, and I grant that the possibility of civil discourse can feel particularly remote these days, I encourage you to remember the skills you learned at SAIC. Remember the questions you asked and how you pursued them, knowing that there was no definitive answer. You explored, risking the safety of the known and resisting the pressure to conform. You embraced failure, trying again and again in an iterative learning process. And you learned the value of constructive critique, which demonstrates the breadth of wisdom in the community and reveals opportunities for change. As you begin your life after art school, there is neither a universal prescription for good behavior or uniform etiquette. There are few unassailable truths, and everyday facts are disputed these days. Nevertheless, your ability to thrive is not predicated on the world being tidy, predictable, or free of difficulty. As citizen artists, we meet the challenges of our shared society with the same creativity and resilience you practice in school. And the explorations you undertake as a citizen artist will be fascinating, surprising, and beautiful. And no matter where your path takes you, you will find fellow travelers along the way. Among them are over 20,000 SAIC's alums who are already part of this global artist citizenry. Through their friendship, mentorship, and example, they can help guide your path. Two such alums, Teresa Berger and Rashid Johnson, will receive honorary degrees today. We welcome them and their fellow honorees, Stanley Tigerman and commencement speaker, Judy Chicago, as they join dozens of previous recipients, each with accomplishments and unique stories that will inspire you. In addition to your fellow alums, there are those who were surely the most influential during your study, the faculty. These visionary practitioners and dedicated educators are the heart and soul of SAIC, and I would like us to recognize them. Would the faculty who are here please stand? Yeah, and other places. Over there too. Okay, graduates, now I would like you to stand, the entire class. Come on, everybody on their feet. Ready? Okay, now take a moment. You can take a selfie if you must. We'll give you a few seconds for that. And if you do, tag me on Instagram, SAICPRES. Really? Do it? I'm trying to hit 1,000 and I'm really close. But really, remain standing and look around you. Do a whole 360 around. Look around, all around. Somewhere in this room today, you likely have a parent, a sibling, a guardian, relative, a partner, or someone who helped you reach the threshold of SAIC. Or if your someone could not be here today, or if they are far away or no longer with us, please picture them in your heart to make them, in a sense, close. These supporters knew you before your faculty and classmates did. They likely sacrificed to help you get here. They loved you before you came to college, and they are ready to embrace the citizen artists you have become. They deserve your standing ovation. Okay, you can sit back down. Okay, I think that's why there's exercise and commencement exercise. I promise it's the only corny joke I will tell. But in fact, the word commencement might sound a bit counterintuitive, coming as it does at the end of a course of study. Naturally, we are here to celebrate your hard work and all that you have accomplished. You are so deserving of our congratulations, and we give them to you sincerely and with joy. But the most important part, the sense of occasion that drew over 6,000 people here today, is the commencing, the beginning. And it could not be better timed. Your contribution is needed. Beginning today, you bring your skills, talents, perception, and compassion to bear upon the world. Today, you begin your lives as citizen artists. Welcome and congratulations. I'd now like to introduce Vice President and Dean of Student Affairs Felice Dublon up to the podium for the presentation of the Student Leadership Awards.
Thank you, President Tenney. Before I present the Student Leadership Awards, please join me in thanking the many staff and student volunteers led by Deans Patrick Spence and Debbie Martin, who have contributed to the success of this graduation. Now, each year at graduation, we pay tribute to those truly exceptional students who have dedicated themselves to building community at the school. We ask faculty and staff to submit the names of those students who demonstrate excellence in leadership and whose overall contributions to the school are recognized and appreciated by their fellow students, by all of you. So to begin, I turn your attention to the slides behind me and the Jumbotron, which lists the names of those students who received honorable mention. You'll find these names on our website as well. Please join me in acknowledging their tremendous commitment to the school and to you. And now for the recipients of the Student Leadership Award. It should be noted that although these students have distinguished themselves in very unique ways, they share one remarkable quality: a sustained relationship over time with the school as opinion leaders and as student advocates. I'll announce the name of all the student award winners as they walk across the stage for their final bows. Please join me in congratulating them. Ready? Tal Ben Avraham, Jingwoo Tsao, Guo Cheng, Asosa Edibiri, Irina Frumkin, Ryan Go, Rafael Huerta, Sun Kawazoa, Adam Kojo, Ji-Soo Kwok, Freddie Lambright III, Heyrim Lee, Mulaney Lopez, Dahe Ok, Solomon Salim Moore, Marco Tejun Park, Sevi Perez, Katja Perez Fuentes, Yash Rastogi, Remy Robin, Nicholas Rodriguez Mello, Carmel Sabri, Gabriela Sacconi, Caitlin Sinclair, Ellie Tsay, Jessie Tuttle, Mariah Winding, Kin Yang Wang, Elaine Wu, Angela Shu, and Louisa Zhang. Please join me one more time in thanking our graduating student leaders.
I know it's nice up here, but congratulations to our student leaders. It's my pleasure to introduce you to members of the SAIC Student Government who present the Faculty of the Year Awards.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jesus Hilario Reyes, and I am joined by the SAIC Student Government, the students who work to represent the student body and serve the community. One of the best parts of serving on the student government is hearing from the students themselves things that they truly enjoy about the school, faculty in particular. We are here today to honor 2 exceptional teachers with the SAIC Faculty of the Year Award, an award that gives students the chance to nominate the faculty who have a positive impact on their experience and have made outstanding contributions to the SAIC community. Each year, this honor is given to 1 full-time and 1 part-time faculty. Today, the Full-Time Faculty of the Year Award goes to a teacher who has shown no limits to their dedication to the SAIC community, as well as so many communities outside of SAIC and Chicago. His students and peers place a high value on his presence and guidance. This recipient is always connecting students with lasting connections and really extending a helping hand. There are few I've met who exhibit such knowledge and criticality in everything that they do. This person is truly a transformative asset to our community. So on behalf of student government and the graduating class of 2018, please give a round of applause for this year's full-time recipient, Kamal Patton.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Reginald Williamson, and I stand here on the behalf of student government to present the Part-Time Faculty of the Year Award. Today I have the honor in awarding a Part-Time Faculty of the Year Award to a teacher who has shown compassion, empathy, and rigor towards her students. Her students have placed high value on her feedback and guidance inside the classroom, always pushing students and connecting with them on a personal and human level. So on the behalf of student government and the graduating class of 2018, please give me a round of applause for this year's part-time recipient, Aramhan Cifuentes.
I'm so honored to receive this award. So I teach predominantly English to international students in the liberal arts department and the academic spine courses, sophomore and junior seminars. I'd say that at least 80% of all of my students are students of color. That's really not common. Many tell me that they take my class because it's really hard. They have a hard time finding faculty who's able to talk about identity and race politics. Only 15 to 19% of all the faculty here are of color. So as a part-time woman of color faculty, I do a lot of unpaid and unacknowledged work of mentoring and holding up my students of color, constantly fighting for respect, representation, and inclusion. So I want to thank my students for seeing all the work that I do. Y'all holding me up, y'all got my back. Please hold up more woke faculty of color. Thank you.
Congratulations again to the Faculty of the Year. As I said earlier, our full-time and part-time faculty, both as experts in their respective fields and as educators and mentors to our students, are the heart and soul of SAIC, which is why it is so heartbreaking when we lose one of these souls. We did not want to let today pass without acknowledging the contributions of Associate Professor James Judd, who died just a few weeks ago. Jim was a renowned art critic who taught at SAIC for 30 years. Today, we remember the many times he joined his colleagues here on the commencement stage as the former chair of the Department of New Arts Journalism, and as an expert in Chicago artists and their work. It should come as no surprise that on several occasions, Jim introduced local honorary degree recipients such as the Harry Hu and Franz Schultz. Let us be filled with the same enthusiasm and respect for art, design, and scholarship as Jim was, as we welcome our 2018 honorary degree recipients into the SAIC family.
Thank you, Alyssa. Now we turn to the awarding of honorary doctorates. Each of our honorary doctorate recipients this year has made a remarkable contribution to the world of art, design, and scholarship, of which SAIC is an integral contributor. Their work is in keeping with the mission and values of this institution, and we're deeply honored that they have accepted our invitation to receive these signifiers of their importance to the community. To introduce Teresa Berger, our first honorary doctorate recipient, it is my pleasure to welcome Assistant Professor of Art History, Theory, and Criticism, Samparo Aranque, to this podium.
Congratulations to the class of 2018. It's my pleasure to introduce Teresa Berger today. Rarely do we find those moments where we encounter a work that rescripts our understanding of art historical narratives. This was indeed my experience when I first encountered Teresa's self-portrait structure report 9/6/1972. Teresa's adept use of technology, information systems, and data sets was far ahead of its time and reshaped my own understanding of histories of conceptualism and installation. A founding member of Grupo Arte Nuevo, a Peruvian avant-garde movement that made work between 1966 and 1968, Teresa has been on the cutting edge of experimental practices and conceptualism far beyond these methods became commonplace here in the United States. Her years here as a Fulbright Fellow at the School of the Art Institute between 1968 and 1970 allowed Teresa to perfect these practices. Teresa's work has been featured in a range of exhibitions, publications, and collections internationally. Recent solo exhibitions have taken place at the Sculpture Center in New York, Gallery Barbara Toom in Berlin, Malba in Buenos Aires, and Sala de Arte Público in Mexico City. Notably, Teresa was featured in Radical Women, Latin American Art 1960 to 1985, which toured between the Hammer Museum and the Brooklyn Museum. If you haven't already, I encourage you to go see her piece, Sin Título, which is currently up at our very own Art Institute, so you can begin to reshape your own historical narratives. Teresa's stunning practice experiments in methods and processes that have thoroughly shaped the contemporary field today. Whether she works in deconstructed information-based systems or modular painted plywood sculptures, Teresa makes us rethink how we've learned particular histories of art. She intervenes in the places where we might find the gendered figure or even a woman artist in these inherited historical narratives. Her works remind us that, in most cases, women did it first, revolutionizing the places where conceptualism met experimental methods and materials. Well ahead of her time, Teresa's work evidences how and why we should reshape these narratives and adjust our vision of the past. Remembering how central SAIC was to her development of ideas, Teresa has noted how professors at the school staged both casual conversations with students and encouraged active confrontations about ideas in the classroom. My favorite of these examples was when Teresa raised her hand in a class to tell the professor, "I don't agree with anything you have just said." Surely this kind of bold refusal, critical attention, and fierce articulation is felt in all of Teresa's artistic practice. We are honored to recognize her with an honorary degree today.
Welcome back to SAIC, Teresa. You join us today to be recognized for your extraordinary contributions to contemporary art, ceaseless explorations in all media, and steadfast commitment to making art through political adversity. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and the Board of Trustees of the Art Institute of Chicago, I now confer upon you the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce the Director of Architecture, Interior Architecture, and Designed Objects, Jonathan Solomon, who will introduce our next honorary degree recipient, Chicago's own Stanley Tigerman.
Good morning, and congratulations to the class of 2018. Stanley, what a pleasure and an honor, and challenge. How can I even begin to summarize all of your thought and accomplishment? An architect with a transformative impact on Chicago and the world, I had the fortune to meet Stanley Tigerman at the impressionable age of, what, 4 or 6? And to me, he has always been a model of what it meant to impact the built environment, not just with buildings, but with ideas. And what ideas? Architecture, Stanley has said, is not just a matter of finding the one right, legitimate way of making anything. Rather, Stanley's work is a reflection of its times. And through reflection, it reveals all that is rich, frightening, and fascinating about them. A shock to the system of the American scene of the 1970s, Stanley's approach to architectural service to its clients and public remains urgent, fresh, and inspiring today. Outspoken, irreverent, and iconoclastic, Stanley is an architect whose primary concern through his years of leadership and practice and discourse has been the ethics of architecture. And his greatest commitment has been to the city, often Chicago, and what happens in it. From built works, such as his 1976 Illinois Regional Library for the Blind, holistically designed to provide the blind the same access to appreciation of architectural space as the sighted, to his more recent Pacific Garden mission in Chicago, a 156,000 square foot facility for transitional housing, community services, and job training, Stanley's work has served architecture by example. As director of the School of Architecture at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and later with Eva Maddox as founder of ArchiWorks, Stanley has led institutions committed to inquiry, experimentation, and exploration of architecture and to the power of design to address social, cultural, and environmental challenges in the city. Dissonance, Stanley once noted, is never dull. Throughout his career, he has excited, enchanted, and exacerbated architecture according to this credo. I can only hope that the particular ethics of Stanley Tigerman become less dissonant in the practice and culture of architecture, and if not more dull, never more dull, increasingly a tune that we can all sing.
Stanley, you join us today. You join us today to be recognized for your extraordinary contributions to the field of architecture. Over your career as a designer and a theorist, your inquisitive pursuit and uncompromising vision has always pointed toward the next iteration of our built environment. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the governors of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the Board of Trustees of the Art Institute of Chicago, I now confer upon you the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce Clinical Associate Professor at the College of Medicine at the University of Illinois at Chicago, Medical Director and founder of the North Star Medical Center, Director of Iceberg Projects Gallery, and member of our own Board of Governors, Daniel Berger, who will introduce our next honorary degree recipient, Rashid Johnson.
It's rare to be in the position to observe someone within a short time develop into a great artist. I've been very fortunate to know Rashid early in his career, and he continues to blow us away with every successive show. He works across varied media, and his work is showcased around the world. Like many young artists, in his beginning years, Rashid had his struggles and a limited budget. But what was so compelling to me was his boldness, confidence, generosity, and perseverance that enabled him to succeed. I remember one evening, about 12 years ago, that Rashid drove up to my house during an ugly Chicago snowstorm. He needed money to produce his upcoming show, and he walked in carrying available work rolled up underneath his arm. It was a silver gelatin photograph print from his now famous Seeing in the Dark series. I remember feeling the goosebumps, looking at this hauntingly beautiful image of Jonathan, a homeless man, photographed by Rashid in his studio, using an 8x10-inch Deardorff camera and employing 19th century methods for the printing process. I was dumbstruck. The sophistication and technical prowess of the work that Rashid actually completed as an undergrad student. Johnson's work involves photography, video, and sculpture, and his approach to his art is novel, using unusual media and processes. He carefully chooses materials culled from his upbringing, and he incorporates references to the work of African-American artists and civic political leaders who were key in effecting changes to the construct of our perception of Black identity. He weaves these elements within his own narratives as he recontextualizes and contemporizes traditions and canons. In addition, Johnson continuously challenges himself in new milieu. In 2013, Rashid staged performances of the classic Amiri Baraka play, The Dutchman, which is about allegorical race relations, at the hot and steamy Russian and Turkish saunas in New York, and then also staged the same performance at a sauna here in Chicago. Currently, he is directing a film adaptation of the important Richard Wright novel, Native Son, working with the award-winning film company A24 and Pulitzer Prize-winning screenwriter Suzanne Laurie Parks. Rashid Johnson received a BA in photography from Columbia College, studying with Dawood Bey and MacArthur Binion. In 2003-2004, he attended the MFA program at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. His emphasis was on concept and theory, studying with Barbara DeGenevieve and Greg Bordowitz. He moved to New York in 2005. He's had exhibitions around the world at major institutions, including Moscow, New York, London, Athens, Los Angeles, not to mention his major retrospective titled Message to Our Folks, which opened at the MCA here in Chicago, which then traveled around the country. In 2016, he was appointed to the Board of Trustees of the Solomon Guggenheim Foundation and Museum, the first artist to be given this honor in nearly 40 years. Rashid Johnson shows with Hauser and Wirth, David Kordansky Gallery, and Monique Meloche Gallery. As an early supporter and friend, it is with great pleasure that I share the stage with the insanely talented Rashid Johnson. We are bestowing this well-deserved honorary doctorate to Rashid because of what he's given to us in the art world, and we look forward to what is yet to come. Thank you.
Rashid, your study at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago comes full circle today. Since your study here, you continue to reflect on the rich history of African American art and culture through the prism of your personal history, which began right here in your hometown, Chicago. Your work across media, from photography to sculpture, and most recently feature film, have been celebrated around the world. You join us to be recognized for these enduring contributions. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the Board of Trustees of the Art Institute of Chicago, I now confer upon you the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts. So before we award today's last honorary degree, we have a surprise. Actually, it's two surprises. We have two very important members of our community who will be stepping down from their official roles at the end of this academic year. I am talking about Walter and Shirley Massey. At the same time that I first became SAIC's provost in 2010, Walter began his presidency at the school, and Shirley became the First Lady, a role someone heard her say jokingly, but very insightfully, called the other president. And when Walter left the presidency in 2016, he became our chancellor, a position he will formally retire from at the end of this academic year. But Walter and Shirley can never leave SAIC. First, we will never let them stray very far, and moreover, because of the indelible impact they have made on the school. Long before they came here, Shirley and Walter were leaders in every community they walked into. It's the story of their life, engagement with the people who make up all the worlds they have explored: science, education, civil service, executive leadership, philanthropy, and the list goes on. In a way, their biggest contribution is how they bring all of these worlds together. That's certainly their lasting legacy at SAIC. Their attention to civic work has brought the life of the school and the life of the city closer together. They inspired the donor-funded Walter and Shirley Massey Scholars Program, which supports Chicago area students, and some of the recipients of this scholarship are graduating today. And while SAIC has long been a hothouse of interdisciplinary practice, Walter's expertise and access to the world of science made collaborations with the University of Chicago and Northwestern, as well as industry partners, possible. And perhaps most impressively, their leadership convinced us we could and should undertake a major fundraising effort. SAIC had never had a fundraising campaign dedicated solely to the school in its 150-year history. With their confidence, experience, and hard work, SAIC will end a campaign successfully in June, significantly exceeding our goal of raising over $50 million for student scholarships and faculty support. The value of their contributions to SAIC are immeasurable, but what many of us, myself included, will remember most are two very strong, fully realized, and indivisible personalities. Shirley is vivacious and gregarious. She walks into a room full of strangers and wills everyone into a party. Meanwhile, Walter is upbeat and insightful. He sagely drops into a meeting and with just a few words empowers the group to do its best work. The way they work with each other, for each other, extending each other's reach, and supercharging one another's talents is amazing to see. To know either of them is a boon to your work and your life. SAIC was very lucky. We got both of them. In recognition of their contributions to the school, today, we award Chancellor Walter Massey an honorary degree. We know it's your 42nd honorary degree, Walter, but we hope this is a really special one. And to you, Shirley, we award the Presidential Award of Distinction, only the second time in the history of the school that this has been given. Walter and Shirley, will you please join me at the podium? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the Board of Trustees of the Art Institute of Chicago, I now confer upon you, Walter Massey, the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts, and you, Shirley Massey, the Presidential Award of Distinction. Thank you. And now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce another invaluable colleague. While she is not retiring from SAIC, she is ending her tenure as the Dean of Faculty to return to her role as professor in the Department of Art History, Theory, and Criticism. Students, faculty, and guests, please welcome Lisa Wainwright, who will introduce honorary degree recipient and graduation speaker, Judy Chicago.
It's so marvelous to have Judy Chicago as our commencement speaker on the occasion of the school's first graduation in a sports arena. Why? Because we get to project, they better go up there, her slides. There we go. We get to project her beautifully defiant feminist imagery up on the Jumbotron. There they are from the dinner party. The most canonical feminist project of the 20th century. Thanks to Judy Chicago, vaginas soar over this stadium. They soar with all the symbolic power that only art and design allow. It is also fitting that we are in a sports arena today, for Judy Chicago is not only a champion of the feminist movement, but of freedom of expression in general. She is an unapologetic and fierce activist in righting historic wrongs and affirming the agency of voices that must be heard. All voices. More vaginas, good. Keep them up there. Keep them coming. Her commitment looked forward to the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, trans activism, disability rights, and other intersectional groups and communities seeking to find voice around just and ethical treatment. Hers is a 60-year career underscoring the historic relationship between the powerful and the powerless, conveyed through the force of a staggering visual language. She is bold. She had a profound impact on me as a young graduate student in the 1980s and catapulted me into a career in the arts, never looking back, but always conscious of my position as a woman in a field dominated by the patriarchy. But I soared nonetheless on Judy Chicago's wings, as have many of you. Judy Chicago's focus on textiles, ceramics, and other art forms traditionally dismissed by the art world as mere craft, we know better at SAIC, are a fundamental aspect of artistic practice. This kind of work represents noble production rather than mindless consumption. At SAIC, we balance handwork with high tech. We teach and theorize around the so-called crafts, and we do it so well as the last remaining museum school of consequence. So it makes sense to honor Judy Chicago at SAIC for her wide interdisciplinary methods, her collaborative social practices, and her attention to profoundly meaningful content. And then there's her name, Judy Chicago, one she freely chose in an act of radical feminism. So it is timely and appropriate that we bring Judy Chicago to Chicago for your 2018 graduation. Wait. I got more. I got a couple more things to say. So Judy Chicago earned an undergraduate degree, then a master's in painting and sculpture from UCLA in 1964. She began her career in the 1960s LA art scene when minimalism was at its height. She worked abstractly with a reductive and serial methodology a la minimalism, but she kept it fresh, teaching herself to spray paint, for example, by going to auto body school, and then making pastel-colored femme paintings on car hoods. Move over Richard Prince, I say on that one. This important early work was curated into the groundbreaking exhibition Primary Structures at the Jewish Museum in 1966, and our own Ann Goldstein, Deputy Director and Chair and Curator of Modern Contemporary Art at the Art Institute, included the work in her major show, A Minimal Future, Art as Object, when she was Senior Curator at LA MoCA in 2004. And Judy Chicago was and remains an important educator. In the spring of 1970, she started the first women's art program at Fresno State and then continued it at CalArts in Valencia. Imagine building this kind of curriculum in 1970. It took guts, chutzpah, fierce resilience, but now this is standard across college campuses. And while at CalArts in 1972, she organized the historic Woman House, a sculptural environment addressing the conditions of domesticity and femininity. Very, very famous piece, almost as famous as The Dinner Party. And The Dinner Party, a triangle-shaped table arranged with 39 place settings honoring historic women across time from the primordial goddess to Georgia O'Keeffe. The table sits on a floor of triangular tiles with 999 names of other heroic women, primarily Western. Each side is 48 feet long with an array of these porcelain plates, all variations on the vulva. I love saying that at graduation. What Chicago humorously refers to as her vagina china. The plates rest on runners embroidered with elaborate designs and all the names of the women. And then the project, as you know, involved over 400 volunteers and was seen by hundreds of thousands of people. Now, I'm not sure why it took so long to find a home for this canonical work from art history. Or maybe I am sure, but let's not rage. Let's not rage, for it is now in the permanent collection of the Brooklyn Museum of Art. Chicago continues to have a long and productive career with a major show opening next year in DC. She has worked on canvas, glass, porcelain with oil paint, spray paint, china painting, needlework. She has used dry ice and fireworks, as you see on the slide. Fireworks, because as she puts it, I want to feminize the atmosphere. Chicago has exhibited around the world, including the Second Havana Biennial, the Philadelphia Museum of Art, the Whitney, the Jewish Museum, the Contemporary Museum in Kumamoto, Japan, the Barbican in London, Haus der Kunst in Berlin, the J. Paul Getty, among many other notable venues. She has her important gallery, Jessica Silverman Gallery in San Francisco. Her work is in the collections of such esteemed institutions as the Art Institute of Chicago, the Hammer, the Metropolitan, the Moderna Museet in Stockholm, the National Gallery in DC, the British Museum, the Brooklyn Museum, the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, the Tate Modern, and many, many, many more. Chicago is also a writer, publishing a number of texts, including Through the Flower, My Struggle as a Woman Artist from 1975, and The Dinner Party, Restoring Women to History from 2014. Chicago has made installations and performances and enormous projects taking years to complete. The Birth Project from 1980 to 85, the Holocaust Project from 85 to 93, Power Play on the theme of masculinity from 82 to 87, and she is currently working on her newest series called The End, a meditation on death and extinction. Judy Chicago is an artist unafraid of taking on the big themes, just like we have taught all of you to do so well. I want to change the world, claims Judy Chicago. I want a transformation of consciousness through art, she asserts. We get that at SAIC, for we too try to imagine through the making of art and design and its discourse a humane and compellingly beautiful world. So let's put one more massive vagina on the Jumbotron in honor of human reflection and delight. Please join me in welcoming our 2018 commencement speaker, Judy Chicago.
Thank you, Lisa. I noticed the slide stumbled a little bit. I guess it was this arena not necessarily being comfortable with my imagery. The only precedent for this situation was a piece I did in Pomona, a fireworks piece where one of my giant butterflies erupted on a football field. Also, Ann Goldstein not only showed Rainbow Picket, she brought it back because I had destroyed it when I was young because I couldn't get anywhere with it, which will become clearer to you after my remarks. And I hope I don't cry because this particular honorary doctorate and commencement speech is much more meaningful to me than any I've had or done before. I grew up in Chicago, and in fact my name, which was originally Judy Cohen, I had such a Chicago accent when I went to LA that people used to call me Judy Chicago. And my first dealer wanted me to change my name. It was a time when a lot of artists had underground names in LA. Ed Richet was Eddie Russia, Larry Bell was Ben Lex, and we all listed our names in the phone book as a kind of in-joke, like if you really knew who we were, then you'd figure out how to find us in the phone book. Also, all of us probably had some modest amount of student loans, nothing like what you have. Anyway, I started drawing at 3, and when I was 4, my preschool teacher informed my mother that I was talented. Because my family had limited money, my mother was forced to borrow a friend's museum membership card so that she could send me to the children's classes in the big auditorium at the Art Institute that were a member's benefit. Every Saturday, from the time I was 5 years old until I left for college when I was 17, I would take the 153 bus by myself, unheard of today, from our apartment on Bittersweet to the Art Institute. For several years, I sat in a large auditorium and drew with dozens of other children. By the time I turned 8, my mother had somehow found the funds to start sending me to the junior school, where I was classically trained, for which, as I developed as an artist, I became eternally grateful. We drew everything: models, still life, anatomy studies, including trips to the Field Museum to learn how to render animals and bones. As a preteen, I started studying with the legendary teacher, Emmanuel Jacobson, who also taught art at Senn High School. He was the teacher actually to a lot of artists who later went on to have distinguished careers, although he was very modest and would never really talk about that. From early on, I had a singular ambition: to become an artist and to make a contribution to art history, goals that determined all my decisions in life. After my Saturday classes, I would wander the upstairs galleries, which were much smaller than they are now, transfixed by the changing light in Monet's haystacks, scrutinizing the opposing hues of colored dots in Seurat's Grandjet, and following Toulouse-Lautrec's use of reds as they danced across his canvases. But as closely as I studied this art, the one thing I did not notice was the absence of women artists. For me, at that point, neither art nor ambition had anything to do with gender. I was extremely lucky in that I was brought up by parents who believed in equal rights for women. I had hoped for a scholarship to the Art Institute, but when that didn't happen, I took a train to LA in order to attend UCLA, where I discovered that the rest of the world didn't necessarily share my parents' beliefs. In fact, my male painting instructors were clearly more interested in embedding their female students than in helping them become professional artists. And some of you may have recently followed the story about the School of Visual Arts in New York, where finally, after decades, some of the male professors were let go because of their predatory behavior towards their female students. When I was at UCLA, that was business as usual. As a result of their attitudes, along with their horror at both my imagery and my color sense, I swerved into the sculpture department, where Oliver Andrews, a young professor with a more evolved, perspective, probably gave me the first teaching assistantship in sculpture ever awarded to a woman, although I didn't realize it at the time. By 1964, when I graduated with an MA, they didn't give MFAs then, in both painting and sculpture, I was a widow, though I didn't let personal tragedy stop me from pursuing my goals, which involved trying to be taken seriously as an artist in the LA art scene, which was decidedly inhospitable to women, which is why I couldn't get anywhere with Rainbow Picket. I spent a decade trying to fit in, and then I got fed up and changed direction, leaving LA for a year in order to figure out how to create a feminist art practice and a feminist art education that addressed women's needs. I do not have time today to outline the vicissitudes of my more than 50-year career. For those who are interested, I've left a substantial written record of my journey in 14 published books. The last one is called Institutional Time, a critique of studio art education. Suffice it to say that despite the many challenges and obstacles that I faced, I was just named by Time magazine as one of the most influential people in the world. And an achievement that is deeply gratifying to me, especially in light of the art world's extensive efforts to ignore my work and deny its impact. Now I'd like to tell you a story. In 1981, the dinner party was exhibited in an alternative space in the North Dearborn section of Chicago, which I am told it helped to gentrify. My memory is that a nearby bar and sandwich shop, this is my favorite memory, established a Judy Chicago sandwich. The dinner party was brought here by a group of devoted volunteers who, like people in other cities and then around the world, were outraged that their museums wouldn't show the piece. I invited my former teacher, Manny Jacobson, for a personal tour. We walked around the triangular table arm in arm, and when we reached the end, he patted my hand and said, in the soft voice that characterized his speech, "I always knew you would do something important," which moved me to tears then and moves me again remembering it. In addition to feeling deeply touched by his words, I want to emphasize that despite the art world resistance to my work, by the time this event took place, the dinner party had been viewed by hundreds of thousands of viewers. At this point, 1 million people saw the dinner party in its worldwide tour. And since it's been permanently housed at the Brooklyn Museum, where it accounts for 20% of the museum visitorship, it has been seen by 1.5 million people. Since its premiere in 1979, I have received countless letters saying that seeing the piece changed people's lives. I'm not telling you this story to brag. I'm telling you about it because I want you to understand that this demonstrated to me the immense power of art. If, and only if, artists are willing to address issues that people care about in a visual language that is widely accessible, which is the opposite of what most studio art students are encouraged to produce, although Lisa tells me that it's not like that at the Art Institute. Like many others, I learned how to talk in tongues. That is, how to make art that few people can understand. More recently, this problem has been exacerbated by all types of arcane theory, promulgated by many of the most prestigious art schools. The result has been, in my opinion, that art has been led off the rails. I have a different vision of art and what it can be, which has guided me through the production of a large body of work focused on a range of subject matter in a variety of techniques. For a very long time, I was alone in a lonely voice, but that has begun to change in the last few years. Most notably, I've noticed it on Instagram. Actually, Vagina China was not my term. Vagina China, I used to describe the dinner party as a reinterpretation of the Last Supper from the point of view of those who've done the cooking throughout history. There are 2 women in Boulder, Colorado, who have started a little project called Vagina China, based a lot on the dinner party. And it is a great pleasure to me to see the changes that have taken place since 1980, when the major critics in New York announced that the dinner party was nothing but pudenda on plates, to see the proliferation of Club Clitoris, Vagina China, I love it. The Vagina Company, I love it. And then, who is that incredible rock singer, Janelle? Vagina Legs. Did you see her performance oh my God. My work is modest in relation to that. Who ever thought I'd live long enough to see that? Anyway, I believe that the reason things have begun to change, apart from the fact that there are a lot more women making a lot more trouble, I believe that there is an urgent need for meaningful art today. Not art made for a fickle marketplace, but rather art that can reach out and touch people's hearts. In fact, I never go to the Museum of Modern Art because I am not willing to pay $25 to see the white male narrative reinstalled. But my wonderful photographer husband, Donald, and I braved what is like going to a department store, and in order to see the Jacob Lawrence series, The Great Migration. If you don't know these paintings, they're modest in scale. They have been divided into two collections, I don't know why. They tell the story of the Great Migration north from the south that occurred in our country's history. They actually influenced my new series, which is also modest in scale. In this day and age of huge studios with huge production teams making huge meaningless art, Jacob Lawrence's paintings reach out to me from his heart to my heart without any intermediaries, no text, just real art. And as I was saying at our tour yesterday, the Art Institute, to two of the young curators that Anne has brought in, it just enrages me that the Great Migration is not on display permanently in the galleries of the Museum of Modern Art as part of the great American story. I'm often asked for advice by young artists, and this is what I have to say to you today. And I thought a lot about trying to say something that will be meaningful to you, and I hope I achieve that. The art world is a very different place than it was when I was your age and just starting out. I was able to live on nothing. I was able to work 60 hours a week in my studio. I was able to share a 5,000 square foot studio with two other artists for which we paid a total of $75 a month rent. None of us ever thought we would make a lot of money as artists. That was not the point. Sadly, there are way more artists being pumped out of graduate school into a small distribution system. I recently read that at any given moment there are 40,000 artists walking the streets of New York and another 40,000 in London, all trying to get into a gallery. And a little known and unfortunate fact is that 75% of artists make less than $10,000 a year from their art, and women artists make half that. I'm not trying to disillusion you. Rather, I'm trying to tell you the truth, which unfortunately few art schools seem to do, hence my book about studio art education. Though I've been told that the Art Institute really tries to prepare you. For those of you who are not studio art majors, your path will probably be easier. But I've spent my life as a professional artist, and that is what I am best equipped to discuss. If your goal is at all similar to my own, I want you to know that you can succeed, as I have done, even though my path has been rocky, to say the least. How have I accomplished this? First, I worked really hard for many decades. Secondly, I did not delude myself that I could have it all, or that we live in a post-feminist, post-racial, or equitable world. Most important for women, I learned my history as a woman and what women before me had faced and overcome. I think it's great that Rashid is making this movie. Just great. My four mothers were my companions as I struggled to achieve my goals. Long over is the time that an artist can just work in her studio while a gallery handles her career. Artists have to make work and also fight for it in the world, which is a formidable balancing act. Also, because the art world was so set against me for so long, I had to figure out alternative ways for my work to become known. In the end, this turned out to be a good thing, because I had to take charge of my own career, which is absolutely essential nowadays. And here are a few words of advice. Try not to be seduced into making art for the marketplace, as it scoops up, grinds up, and spits out young artists like last week's garbage. The biggest challenge nowadays, apart from paying off student loans, which are a lot more than mine was when I got out of school, is being able to establish a long, sustained career such as I have had. Do not look to what is fashionable. Instead, look within yourselves for what you have to say that is your own. Nurture that until you have created something meaningful, and then be prepared to struggle for a place in the world, even if that involves rejection, few sales, and bad reviews. There was a time in the art world that was quite different in terms of galleries. So Bruce Nauman, who used to show, we came up together in California, he used to show at Leo Castelli. And for decades, he didn't sell any work. He would have shows and they wouldn't sell. And he would say, but Leo, I haven't sold anything. And Leo would say to him, that's all right, Bruce, just keep working. And he gave Bruce a stipend, which was then $200 a month, which was enough to live on. And that's what Bruce did, keep working. So I say to you, no matter how hard it gets, do not give up. You never know what will happen if you live long enough. Look what's happened with me. I'm almost done, so bear with me for one more minute. I had a burning desire to make art. Art has been my life, my solace, and my deepest reward. I can look back on a lifetime of art making with satisfaction, pride, and self-respect. In my opinion, art making is one of the highest callings of human life. I feel privileged to have had the opportunity to use my talents in the service of a higher vision, one that sees art as potentially inspiring, empowering, and challenging, and that it can transform the way in which we see the world. I urge you to seek nothing less and to face life's challenges with courage and creativity. And congratulations to you all and to my fellow and sister honorees.
Stay up here so we can do the honorary doctorate. Judy, you join us today to be recognized for your extraordinary contributions to art and feminism and self-expression. Your life and work are an example to all of today's graduates to persevere. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the governors of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the trustees of the Art Institute of Chicago, I now confer upon you the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts.
Now it's time to provide Doctors Chicago, Massey, Johnson, Tigerman, and Berger with some fellow graduates. Before we do, I want to take a moment to recognize a special colleague. Tiffany Holmes will be leaving at the end of the semester to move to Baltimore, take on a position at the Maryland Institute College of Art. And I want you to join me in thanking her for all that she's done for the School of the Art Institute. To present the candidates for graduate degrees and post-baccalaureate certificates, I am pleased to introduce Dean of the Faculty, Lisa Wainwright, and Dean of Graduate Studies, Arnold Kemp.
It is time for the presentation of all master's degree candidates, followed by the certificate candidates. We would now like to present the candidates for the degrees of Master of Fine Arts in Studio, Master of Fine Arts in Writing, Master of Arts in Arts Administration and Policy, Master of Arts in Art Education, Master of Arts in Art Therapy, Master of Arts in Modern and Contemporary Art History, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Arts in Visual and Critical Studies, Master of Arts in New Arts Journalism, Master of Science in Historic Preservation, Master of Design in Designed Objects, Master of Architecture, including those with an emphasis in interior architecture, Master of Design in Fashion, Body, and Garment, and the dual degree of Master of Arts in Modern and Contemporary Art History and Master of Arts in Arts Administration and Policy. We ask that you refrain from applauding until all candidates have received their degree. We're going to begin with the Master of Arts in Modern and Contemporary Art History and Master of Arts in Arts Administration and Policy. First we're doing the Master of Fine Arts in Studio. I'm so sorry. Benjamin Argules.
Matias Armendarias Avila.
Michel Soto.
Te Bo.
Aviv Ben.
Jenna Marie Rose Boyles.
Ivana Brenner.
Kevin Daniel Carr.
Minli Chao.
Gua Chung.
Theo Chin.
Ann Chin.
Min Sun Cho.
Ziv Cohen.
Young Sun Choi.
Amelia Cole.
Jean Allison Cohen.
Desiree Corral.
Rodolfo Kupich.
Carolyn Joy Dahlberg.
Elizabeth Eaton Kupich.
Mairead Grace Delaney.
Corinne Lee Danis.
Brian W. Driscoll.
Kevin Matthew Demery.
Fabian Prista Eli.
Nia Fitzmaurice Gnal Easley.
Madeline Hilliard Finley.
Matthew Escu.
Ashley Marie Freeby.
Mia Faritka Fisher Christensen.
Jasper Goodrich.
Ashley Glanders.
Igraine Gray.
Beatrice Guzman Velasquez.
Benjamin Paul Harley.
Jeremy Thomas Handrup.
Jesse Shu.
Juan David Ha.
Xiao Hung.
George Ho Hung.
Paris Hamad Yao.
Chen Yu Chung.
Misan Kim.
Lassen Irma Karasu.
Yuji Kamon.
Manami Kobayashi.
Sophie Louise Ledick.
Long Shang Lai.
Alexia Leroy.
Tu Young Lee.
Annie Phipps Loya.
Harim Lee.
Xiao Tiang Liang.
E. Lee.
Chao Chen Lu.
What? Rachel Lynn? Okay. Rachel Lynn.
Jonathan Martinez.
E. Ting Liu.
Jesse Meredith.
Daisy McManaman.
Elizabeth Moylan.
Salamine Salim Moore.
Samuel Murphy.
Katia Muniz Rios.
Samir Nahas.
Jillian Bryn Musilak.
Kelly Nybert.
Dana Nekmad.
Tree No.
Galen Albright Odell Smedley.
C.Y. Oak.
Thomas Osorio.
Paul Perez.
Barbara Miriam Polster Griffith.
Sarah Helen Reynolds.
You want me to say B? Catherine Restko.
Nicole Paulette Rindy.
Mary Frances Roll.
Katie Rutledge.
Nana Rosenfeld Olson.
Bethany Elizabeth Janelle Sharp.
Santiago X.
Julia Sharp.
Aisha Singh.
Joseph Leon Schneider.
Katyayani Singh.
Shaylin Lee Stevenson.
Mackenzie Subin.
Jane Louise Thompson.
Ming Tao.
Sailing Seng.
Angeliki Kaido Tsoli.
Vicente Ugartechea.
Maria Urigotia Villanueva.
Danielle Vickers.
Gushla Vora.
Suchen Wei.
Zuri Akila Washington.
Stefan Peter Weisch.
Annie Weisseth.
Christopher Scott Williford.
William Callery Weeby.
William Callery Weeby.
Yitian Yan.
Kendall Wrightson.
Yan Yin.
Sorry. Kat Blumke.
Yan Chao.
Hannah Alex Younger.
Bear Zong.
Say it one more time. Singyi Ju.
Rebecca Tsai.
Li Wei Hu.
Aleph So.
Pen Song. Can you pronounce? Sao Tong Sun.
Okay, one more.
Sorry? Vivi Lee.
Master of Fine Arts in Writing, Jonetta Rondell Anderson.
Rapa Ashi.
Alicia Castaneda Lopez.
Kyle Joy Brooks. Remind me never to
Brian Fabry Dorsum.
Taylor Marie Croto.
Robert Reed Drake.
Jonathan Blake Foster.
Sejake Matsela.
Mika McIntosh.
Jose Thaddeus Nateras III.
Emily Mercedes Rich.
Justin Howard Rozier.
Jazzy Smith.
Jennifer Marie Spadesha.
Siobhan Roca Thompson.
Ian Eric Wojciechowicz.
Allison Brooke Young.
Paulina Bujok.
And now for the Master of Arts in Arts Administration and Policy. Wisdom Beatty.
Deborah Garcia.
Polina Fedotova.
Libya Bianibi.
Courtney Elizabeth Graham.
Yidang Pang.
Garbo Sihan Hu.
Sarah Pollock.
Catherine Elizabeth Osborne.
Nicholas Rodriguez.
Israel Pate.
Adia Marie Sykes.
Chiwei Shang.
Savanra Yas.
Ilana Tenner. Zhu Yan Chong. And now for the Master of Arts in Arts Education, Sofia Arana de Ariarte.
Kais Asali.
Teresa Concepcion Bensel.
Casey Carlock.
Yvonne Cruz.
Anna Elizabeth Dilliard.
Emily Parducci Forrest Matfield.
Megan Gieseker.
Matthew Derek Ladusky.
Mariana Martin Moreno Alonso.
Dolores Ochoa.
Hunju Park.
Wan Ching Ren.
Catherine Lauren Sherman.
Mary J. Saran.
Eduardo Trujillo.
Stacy Sterenberg. Catherine Jane Victoria White. How do you say the first name? Ma-en Karen Zhang. Now for the Master of Arts in Art Therapy and Counseling, Crystal Renee Drake.
Candy Suzanne Jameson.
And now for the Master of Arts in Modern and Contemporary Art History, Madeline Brooker.
Alden Nowell Burke.
Catherine Cato.
Daisy Charles. Irina Frumkin.
Alexander Fiorentino.
Edward Stephen Marto.
Luna Rachel Goldberg.
Brandy Cordier Sostrom.
Michaela Kathleen May.
Yang Shi.
Eleanor Catherine Tompkins. And now for the dual degree in the Master of Arts in Modern and Contemporary Art History and Master of Arts in Arts Administration and Policy, Jameson Page.
Elliot Joseph Reichert.
Bai Chi Chen. And now for the Master of Arts in Teaching, Briata Bell.
Tori Elena Fox.
Xinwei An Huang.
Joy Kalanzas.
And now for the Master of Arts in Visual and Critical Studies, Eduardo Chaidez.
Amanda J. Ellison Goldenberg.
Evan James Graham.
Siamak Hoje Muhammad.
Juan Herrera.
Lindsay Allison Hutchins.
Stephanie Nicole Cook.
Tiara Monet Nord.
Ruth Joshi Radin.
John Alexander Stevens.
Zachary Jamie Vaines.
Celia Elizabeth Wickham.
And now for the Master of Arts in New Arts Journalism, Manisha Anil Reita.
Miko Caporale.
Brittany Patricia Popovich.
Mallory Samara.
Now for the Master of Science in Historic Preservation, Nicole Louise Frank.
Jean Sylvester.
And now for the Master of Design in Designed Objects, Han Pai.
Tegan Ann Chatterley.
Yimeng Deng.
Sapita Landani.
Min Kyung Ji.
Young Chin Jia.
Say again? Kyu-ho Kim.
Jingling Lee.
Xingyi Liao.
Daryl McKinney.
Nathan Patrick Phillips. And now for the Master of Architecture, Robert Anthony Clubb.
Tyler Stephen Giroux.
Dana Honor.
Paul Andrew Kurtica.
Adrienne Loge.
Rebecca Trad Nurad.
Melis Simsek. And now for the Master of Architecture with an emphasis in interior architecture, Alex Do.
Oil Trim Ketsep.
Sky Aubrey Taylor.
Lina Al Sharif.
Melissa Bermudez Torres.
Alejandra Betancourt Arriaga.
Ashley Mae Cooper.
Fino X Fan.
Joshua Andrew Hawley.
Alumide Oma Bujelo.
Maria Claudia Quiros.
Olive Chi Oyoung.
Molly Murphy Rodemaker.
Tyler Joseph Rovida.
Emily Ray Schmuck.
Anna Elizabeth Cerrillo.
Susie Shulin Schrong. And now for the Master of Design in Fashion, Body, and Garment, Meru Shai.
Kay Lee.
Carly Young Brandow.
Nelson Cantata.
Hannah Elizabeth Bristol Holden.
Nathan Donald Hoyle.
Shui Zhou.
Yafei Shen.
Shuang Yan Yu. John Fang Yao He. And now for the post-baccalaureate certificate in studio, Ting Tron Jae Cho.
Sehand Heshmati.
Irene Wassner.
Christine Turner.
Freddie Ruiz.
Shura Majedian.
Jose Aponte Bernardi. Please join us in congratulating all master's and certificate candidates. I would like to invite Tiffany Holmes, Dean of Undergraduate Studies, to join me for the presentation of the bachelor's candidates. We're going to present the candidates for our Bachelor of Fine Arts in Studio, Interior Architecture, Visual and Critical Studies, consecutive Bachelor of Fine Arts and Bachelor of Arts in Visual and Critical Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Art History, Bachelor of Fine Arts with an emphasis in art education, BFA with an emphasis in writing, BFA with an emphasis in art history, theory, and criticism. Refrain from applauding until all candidates have received their degree. So first, the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Studio, Camelia Abdul Megid.
Mario Andres Acosta Warren.
Wait, you go that way. Vidisha Agarwal.
Catalina Aguadelo.
Soha Alatas.
Olivia Burkett Alasi.
Catherine Alexov.
Dylan Abelaro.
Gabriel Alejandro Almeida Baroja.
Maribel Joan Ong.
Shelby Loren Anderson.
Thomas Tristan Malik Antoine.
Matias Anyon.
Alyssa Marie Arnonson.
Yuka Aramaki.
CJ Aslan.
Holly Elizabeth Arsenault.
Amanda Asale.
Alexander Clay Asbel.
Moon Bay.
Zainab Aslanova.
Polly Elizabeth Baggett.
William Brian Sheffield Austin.
Yuhan Bai.
Emeka Awa.
Claire Elizabeth Barnes.
Noelle Marie Baird.
Allegra Paula Bartlett.
Erin Marie Barrett.
Ana Sofia Bale.
Sarah Michael Alcala Beatty.
Maria Joanna Benares.
Tal Ben Avram.
Ata Berkol.
Ana Maria Bermudez Moro.
Jessica Byrne.
Catherine Elizabeth Bliss.
Isabella Grace Blumberg Emmerich.
Michelle Renee Lynn Bloyd.
Joseph Mackenzie Britt.
Claire E. Brazel.
Grace Ann Bromley.
Catherine Broadway.
Stephanie Buria Helbeck.
Valerie Catherine Brown.
Amanda Carol Campbell.
Clarissa Renee Butler.
Ding Yu Cao.
Erica Canchola.
Maria Ann Carlson.
Ting Ting Tsao.
Matthew John Casanovas.
Teresita Carson Valdez.
Maurizio Cassian.
Kelly Catarino.
Hannah Sutera Casavodi.
Ellery Kemp Chalmers. Sorry?
Boyun Sylvia Chang.
Hannah Chang.
Nicole Chapu.
Yana Chang.
Chili Chen.
Ling Chen.
Shi Chen.
Jenny Chen.
Charlotte Rose Chesters.
Chenju Chen.
Gwendolyn Yan Chu.
Yumo Cheng.
Lucia Sonju Cho.
Hannah Jane Shirillo.
Jacob Samuel Schwartz.
Hain Cho. Sorry?
Eunice Choi.
Summer Hyun Choi.
Monica Sidney Chung.
Song Yi Chun.
Christy Chung.
Rachel Aaron Chung.
Anna Marie Rose Cafaro.
Donna Chung.
Keenan Patrick Cook.
Maria Luisa Conlon.
McCoy Crawford.
Kayla Nicole Cook.
Ana Renata Cruz Lara Carrera.
Kaylee Kari Jeanette Crawford.
Nishka Dabrwala.
Max John Kreider.
Vivian Dan.
Say it again. We're going to say this together. Beryl.
Beril Çuhadaroğlu.
Yes, that's Beryl.
Michelle Bella David.
Hannah Dausch.
Lindsay Stewart Davis.
Paula Roberta de la Vega.
Lindsay Stewart Davis.
Nicole Adriana Demchek.
Semi De La Reina.
Yiju Deng.
Neve. Kelsey Neve Delisser.
Janine Shang Desilets.
Ravi Deshpande.
Mary Nadia Doe.
Katharina Dubler.
Claire Dunan.
Sabiha Tohedwala.
Kate Drury.
Darby Marie Douglas.
Elizabeth Evelyn Dyla.
Will Dryden. Sorry?
Esosa Edibiri.
Lei Dwan.
Jamir Michele Eggleston.
Nora Elizabeth Egan.
Tyler English.
Daphne Piper Edgren.
Eliza Fields.
Gabrielle Finn Ignator.
Jesse Fillion.
Batuan Eris.
Celine Fournier.
Alexander Reese Fink.
Maciel Franco Beltry.
Elena Frank.
Christopher Gambino.
Caroline Elizabeth Galicki.
Jocelyn Andrea Garcia Quijano.
Rujay Gao.
Maya Song Jandusa.
Evan Gendel.
Stephanie Jermosen.
Jaden River Geyer.
Zainab Gandor.
Riley Morgan Gill.
Nathaniel Joseph Harris Gillette.
Savannah Sue Goebel.
Joseph Shen An Go.
Shivani Goyal.
Dominique Fick Gonsalves.
Ryan Go Wensian.
Ashton Riley Goss.
Emilia Gonzalez.
Mickey Lewis Graw.
Audrey Irene Graff.
Elizabeth Donaldson Greenwood.
Shavana Lashare Green.
Cheng Gu.
Danielle Bruce.
Christopher Thomas Guidati.
Ho Tien Guo.
Julia Blair Hagan.
Salvatore Gutierrez.
Alicia Suzanne Hall.
Chloe Hajar.
Monica Bora Hahn.
Elizabeth Everett Hamilton.
Julia Rose Harmon.
Yanwen Heng.
Benjamin Paul Hayden.
Frank Hathaway Har. Got it.
Shoshe He.
Alexander Francis Hayes.
Jinlin He.
Xiao He.
Na Young He.
Alan Joshua Hensel.
Samuel Hinz.
Melissa Ann Hespelt.
Zoe Ruth Holmes.
Claire Elizabeth Hogan.
Angeline Sophia.
Jia Hong.
Angeline Sophia Holt.
Madeline Olivia Horvath.
Mia Hopkins.
Kelsey Ann Houlihan.
Lindsay Elizabeth Hoy.
Claire Hugh.
Jen Tao Hu.
Sikwi Hu.
Yu Ting Hong.
Rafael Huerta.
Tingru Hong.
Waringa Hongja.
Ethan Kai Huggins.
Madison Sloan Ireland.
Zhang Wei Hong.
Shannon Jarling.
Ocean Jacob Chavanak.
Shahad Jabran.
Safia Eshe Jassi. James. You want James? Safia Eshe Jassi.
Min Soo Jeon.
Michael Anthony Jefferson.
Carrie Jim.
Tenzei Chung.
Yihan Jin.
Ramon Jimenez Cardenas.
Jessica Gabrielle Johnson.
Ki-jun Sally Joe.
Forrest Robert Matsuzawa Jove.
Tessa Johnson.
Ji-yun Margot Kang.
Matt Young Chan Jun.
Grace Eunhae Kang.
Sol Kang.
Jacqueline Ariel Kelsey.
Sun Kawazoe.
Stephanie Kim.
James Aaron Curley.
Sunhyung Kim.
Makara Kepra. Stephanie Heewon Kim.
Ha Yun Grace Kim.
Ga Young Kim.
Jae Hyun Kim.
Minsa Kim.
Ready? Min Young Kim.
Ashley Kim.
Jane Jeon Kim.
Yehun Kim.
Haejung Kim.
In Young Kim.
Christina Kim.
Ye-jin Kim.
Myung-chan Kim.
Hani Kim.
Jung-soo Ko.
Layla Karan.
Amanda Catherine Conkle.
An Kang.
Corey Oleg Kramer.
Adam Richard Kojo.
Milo Lucas Krimstein.
Anna Roselle Krieger.
Jisoo Kwak.
Tabitha Ann Kunkus.
Miles Laidlaw.
Jian Kwok.
Sophia Lamprecht.
Freddie Lambright III.
Madeline Catherine Lasota.
Mackenzie Langston.
Ki Hong Lei.
Tu-An Lee.
Sojung Lee.
Nara Joyce Lee.
Owen Patrick Lee.
Wan Chul Lee.
Ji-un Lee.
Jong-un Lee.
Aaron Lee.
Jimin Lee.
Sean Patrick Leftwich.
Jenny Lee.
Robin Lung.
Jonathan Edward Lieb.
Nanjin Lee.
Cynthia Lurch.
Bangsi Lee.
Zoe Lee.
Tianqiang Yang.
Junyi Lee.
Chong Han Lim.
Jihan Lang.
Peng Liu.
Tabitha Tyler Link.
Sihun Liu.
Tianmeng Liu.
Lu Lu.
Tiana Chow Chow Lu.
Tianghao Liu.
Monke Liu.
Morgan Elizabeth Logan.
Zifei Liu.
Elizabeth Lorena Lopez.
Anne Luiha Liu.
Melanie Lopez Alvarez.
Chelsea Lombardo.
Abigail Hope Lorenz.
Alexandra Yvette Lopez.
Keisha Lozano.
Griffin Margaret Lord.
Junsi Liu.
Madeline Jane Lounsbury.
Brian Joseph Madonna.
Chun Liu.
Christopher William Martin.
Jin Lu Lu.
Maddie Marguerite Martinez.
Katrin Marinova.
Elizabeth Meyer.
Sarah Martino.
Lindsay Marie McCormick.
Thomas McCauley.
Alexander Michael McGady.
Rohan Patrick McDonald.
Julia Gabriela Mellon.
Laurel McPherson.
Julia McBride Menzel.
Ivy Chue Meng. Sorry?
Christopher Thomas Messina.
Simon Men.
Luke Edward Mysek.
Lyric Metropolis.
Grace Camille Miller.
Alejandra Miguel Dada.
Eshovo Momo.
Hiji Min.
Jessica Moon.
Caitlin Page Montesino.
Goldie Murray.
Joseph Josue Mora.
Taylor Newton.
Naoki Nakatani.
Nak Puhang No.
Dylan Neal.
Connor Joseph O'Byrne.
Megan Renee Nolte.
Dalhay Oak.
Sunny O.
Miguel Roberto Ontiveros.
Axel Alexander Olson.
Jesse Pace.
Mary Christine Pacer.
Jesse Pace.
Saul Pelos Rodriguez.
Alida Andrea Pace Pineda.
People have messed my name up too many times, so I'll say it myself. Elida Andrea Pais Pineda.
Sujin Park.
Eugene Claire Park.
Samuel Hunwoo Park.
Tai Jun Park.
Wanyu Peng.
Ruchi Patel.
Katia Perez Fuentes.
Li Ying Peng.
Catherine Louise Perrine.
Thomas Perrin.
Jessica B. Fan.
Holly Peterson.
Alina Pierce.
Roberto Pinknagura.
Sarah Danielle Pitts.
Julia Christine Pole.
Chase Lawrence Pottinger.
Naomi Powers.
Valentina Pozo Portilla.
Hetty Patricia Price.
Ravina Puri.
Bridget Chien. Sorry?
Lanting Q.
Nia Quach. Nia Quach.
Frank Quintero.
Shelby Everett Ragsdale.
Noemi Rana Morales.
Stacy Christopher Randolph.
Yash Sandeep Rastogi.
Kelly Reardon.
Haley Bella Reed.
Karina Reimers.
Remy Olivier Robin.
Zhong Ren.
Athena Paola Rodriguez.
Danielle Robles Lizano.
Grace Yon Rowe.
Ciel Wynn Rodriguez.
Kaz Clifton Rowe.
Alejandra Rosales.
Jaeyoung Rue.
Lou Rukadze.
Gabriela Sacconi.
Carmel Basim Sabri.
Abby Valencia Santorian.
Brandon Santiago.
Joey Scher.
Michael David Satalik.
Paige Elizabeth Schlosser.
Navi Hanake Schiff.
Ray Seebeck.
Shaban Mabel Shuck.
Ye Un So.
Olivia Bronte Segovia.
Jeremiah Carl Nkemini Shalom.
Laura Caroline Severson.
Menkai Shen.
Lu Shan.
Caitlin Grace Sinclair.
Kane Shirley.
Yan Ting Siu.
Anna Senegal.
Gabriella Michelle Smith.
Kaylin Rose Slater.
Lucas Zhongchan Lee.
Bronwyn Dennery Smith.
Do-yeon Kim.
Mimi Park.
Kevin Solis.
Peter Smythe.
Jaewon Song.
June Bay Sun.
Callie Elena Sovaki Spiros.
Patrick Richard Nekatis Soper.
Craig Stamatolaki.
Malika Safiye.
Allison Golcher Stone.
Malika Safeya Yehoda Sproul.
Wangwei Su.
Blake Alexandria Stenger.
Hannah Hanking Sun.
Olivia Brill Streb.
Bolru Sun.
TK So.
Skylar Sun.
CU Sun.
Christina Tamutita.
Erica Sun.
Sikao Tang.
Meng Sun.
Jia Shi Tao.
Jun Yu Tan.
Jordan Kukli Terrio.
Isabel Ruby Tanov.
Gabrielle Thompson.
Alexandra Terry.
Marissa Elizabeth Ptolomeo.
Jessica Marie Thomas.
Jessie Tuttle.
Jennifer Natasha Chandra.
Frederick Graydon Van Atta.
Irena Trujillo.
Trinidad Vasconez.
Nicholas Valent.
Alonso Vasquez.
Kara Tang.
Michelle Kathleen Wagner.
Rylese Vasquez.
Grant Wang.
Francisca Villagrana.
Wei Wang.
Danielle Marie Walsh.
Sihan Wang.
Hope Wang.
Vivian Emmanuel Wang.
Zijuan Wang.
Stephanie Yuyang Wang.
Cinda Wang.
Samuel Scott Weber.
Tianhua Wang.
Savannah Rita Whalen.
Alex Joseph Wetteman.
Austin James White.
Morgan Leanna Williams.
Austin James White.
Ian Wong.
Mariah Winding.
Claire Jade Wong.
Kin Yan Wang.
Wendy Wu.
Molly Ann Wood.
Kristen Tillman Wu.
Amy Wu.
Angela Shu.
Andy Wyworski.
Linglin Yan.
Yiqing Shu.
Sabrina Young.
Vera Young.
Sue Yang.
Yurong Yang.
Serena Dayong Yeo.
Casey Camilla Yasuda.
Weiming Yi.
Xiaoyo Yao.
Saya Yoshida.
Cuban. Angela Cuban Yun.
Sunil Yu.
Laura Yu.
Shuyi Zheng.
Susie Zhang.
Shangri Zhang.
Ji Zhen Zhang.
Hongji Zhang.
Jin Zhang.
Suyong Zhao.
Wan Yu Zhang.
Louisa Zhang.
Jill Zhang.
Yujin Zhao.
Chai Wei Zhong.
Maggie Zhu.
Cheyan Zhu.
Annie Zwick.
Ye Chuo.
Menghang Chai.
Acacia Wei.
Kat Gu.
Stefan Glavatsky. Kehan Sho. And now for the Bachelor of Interior Architecture, Rachel Louise Farah.
Gabriela Farias Hansen.
Jai He.
Emily Rose May.
Shang Ni.
Sheree Shen.
Rohong Wu. Now for the Bachelor of Arts in Visual and Critical Studies. Ellie Ferris O'Neill.
Jacob Hill.
Emily Jewel Kane.
Joanne Ji-Yun Lee.
Chloe Lynn.
Kushmi Mehta.
Jacob Yee.
Nornborn Pei Ongpi Patanako.
Roderick C. Sawyer.
Tatiana Scalani.
Patrick Zappian.
Ellie Tseng.
And now for the consecutive Bachelor of Fine Arts and Bachelor of Arts in Visual and Critical Studies. Alyssa Renee Chavari.
Paola Lopez Pedroza.
Claire Francis Spalding. And now the Bachelor of Arts in Art History. Rose Kamara.
Margarita Lizcano Hernandez.
Ziwen Zipeng. Now for the Bachelor of Fine Arts with an emphasis in art education. Rachel Lillian Banalower.
Sophie Simone Bola.
Hannah Louise Earl.
Lindsay Ann Holzner.
Hannah Jablonski.
Ting Yang Kaur.
Min Jin Kim.
Anastasia J. Lehman.
And now for the Bachelor of Fine Arts with an emphasis in writing. Rose Acola. Rose Acola.
Fatima Jazim Al-Ansari.
Catalina Bode.
Natasha Francesca Estevez.
Odessa Glazer.
Jessica Gra.
Anna Joy Knight.
Claire Arlen Lynn.
Amanda Alexandria McClin.
Carlos Antonio Pinon.
Holly Robinson.
Claire Alicia Smith.
And last but not least, the Bachelor of Fine Arts with an emphasis in art history, theory, and criticism. Colum Seamus Fitzpatrick. So, please join us in congratulating all bachelor's candidates.
Will the master's and certificate candidates please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the Board of Trustees of the Art Institute of Chicago, I now confer upon you your degree or certificate as appropriate to your curriculum, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Please be seated. Will the bachelor's candidates please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the Board of Trustees of the Art Institute of Chicago, I now confer upon you your degree as appropriate to your curriculum, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Okay, we're done. Okay, all good. You can sit down now. Congratulations to the class of 2018.
Congratulations, graduates. That concludes our 2018 School of the Art Institute commencement exercises. Thank you. Congratulations.